For 2025, Ford has refreshed and redesigned the Expedition lineup. They got rid of the Timberland trim and introduced the Tremor trim. Same ideology and just a little bit different look. We've got a redesigned front end with redesigned headlights, grille, and taillights. But in the front, we can see that we have a large turn signal at the top, also your hazards, which are currently on, as well as a stacked LED headlamp setup and large daytime running lights outlining them all. And then of course, running all the way across the hood, we have large Expedition right there, massive Ford logo with a very nice grille. I love the redesign of this grille. You can see you've got full functionality at the top level, and then you've got a nice piano black trim with a functional lip at the bottom. Also present on the grille of the Expedition, we can see that we do have a light bar hidden on both sides of the grille. And then below, we've also got fog lamps inside of this gold Tremor area. Very nice, love to see that, as well as some gold tow hooks at the bottom. Very good and practical. Coming around to the side, we've got 18-inch wheels with 33-inch tires on those all-terrain beefy boys. Now the wheels themselves do look nice. They're also updated to match this Tremor style. We've got the gold right there to kind of give it that Tremor look all the way around. Coming around to the side, we do have piano black at the top of our side view mirrors, as well as a 360 camera with lane departure warning on the mirror itself. We've got paint to match door handles, as well as some good metal rock sliders to help you get up here and access the already installed roof rack at the top. Coming back further, you can see these windows are absolutely massive, and they run from the front all the way to the rear. You basically have windows all the way around, wrapping around to the back. We've also got very nice taillights. Like I mentioned, they are redesigned for 2025. And with some other lights in the back door as well. Now the back door is actually completely redesigned for 2025, more to match the new Lincoln Navigator, so it is a split design. So you can see that you can actually open up the top to access the cargo area, and if you just need to grab something fast, but you've got that split design, so you can go ahead and do that too. Pretty cool. In the rear here though, we do have controls to fold down the seats. However, they do not fold them up. You've also got some light controls back here. So on the door itself, there are lights, and we can turn those on and off. Pretty neat, especially if you're out camping or on the trails like the Expedition wants you to be. You also can control the second row also. And then you've got a little bit of storage right here. On the right-hand side, we do have a 120 volt outlet, as well as a 12 volt outlet and 2 Type-C USB ports. Underneath here, we've got just a little bit of storage, nothing crazy, but I do wish that this whole spot was just a little bit more flat to make it even more practical. But let's see if it passes the eggplant test. All right, so let's see if it passes the eggplant test with its rear hatch. Opens nice and smooth, closes nice and smooth, but doesn't want to take off your finger. It really does. Womp womp. Now coming back up to the front driver's door, you do have keypad entry, so you can unlock the car. Opening up the door, it's very Tremor-esque. If you've ever seen any of the Tremor lineups, it looks just like that. Now the door panel itself looks very Tremor. So you've got the gold stitching running through the top with some silver accents and just lots of black overall. But you do get some nice accent lighting here to help you see the door handle, especially at night. As for functions on the door panel itself, very standard. You have one-touch operation for all your windows around. And then also, of course, your side view mirror controls, your lock and unlock, and that's about it. Now when it comes to the seat, we do have full 12-way power seat controls, so that's nice, love to see that. Hopping in, very comfortable seat. It grips your body really nice. It's grabbing my hips, it's grabbing my back, just feels really good. Now the steering wheel itself is something special because it is not your average steering wheel. It's almost styled like the Tesla steering wheel, except it's got a top and a bottom. But here you have some touch pads. Unfortunately, we don't know exactly what they do right now because it doesn't turn on. But on the left-hand side, we've got our drive mode control as well as a center diff lock. And then we got 2 high, 4 automatic, 4 low, and 4 high. And then our rear hatch release and our emergency parking brake. All right, so now that we have some power on the vehicle, we can actually see some of the things that happen here. So these are actually touch pads, and you can see it on your digital gauge cluster up there in this dual stacked setup. It's a little interesting because actually you can barely see the screen with the current setup that this had. Oh, yep, you do it right here. So click in, and we can go ahead and adjust it down. Power, unfortunately, you have to look at the screen to be able to do it, but nonetheless you can, so that's not bad. It's a rather unique steering wheel, but it does seem like it would be somewhat comfortable. So we have about a 24-inch digital gauge cluster display there, and then all trim levels do come with the same infotainment center here, and this does have Ford's latest software on it, so that's great as well. And it is somewhat responsive, nothing to complain about, so not too bad. But below the infotainment center, we do have one of those rotary style gear selectors, and we can also just gear up and down with the buttons here. We've got a volume knob, which is great to see, as well as some standard buttons right here, such as your auto start, your parking, your hazards, your 360 cameras, traction control, and hill descent. On the dash itself, it's kind of like this textured metal there that says Expedition with more of that accent lighting. Overall, the dash looks very Tremor, but very unique as well. Never seen a dash setup like this. But up above the infotainment center, we've got a very standard rear view mirror, auto dimming, and our home link buttons are not on the mirror, they're actually on the driver visor. Now we've got a spot to store our sunglasses, some controls for our large panoramic sunroof, and dome light controls. And that's about it. Now, coming back down below the infotainment center, we do have this cubby that we can actually open. It hides a wireless charger for your phone, so you can go ahead and put it like that, as well as your trailer controls. Now, inside the compartment, you do also have a Type A port and a Type C port. We've got a couple cup holders that are well enough sized. And then what's really unique is the center console itself. Unfortunately, right now it's not operating, but you do have two power buttons here to actually slide the center console forward or backwards, however you see fit. You can also open it, and of course you've got tons of storage space in there. It's very deep, and it even goes further back this way. Now inside there are some power options, so we have two more Type C USB ports, as well as a 12-volt outlet in your cigarette lighter jack style. Overall, I would say the front is very nice. The seats are remarkably comfortable, tons of space. I feel like I'm in a boat. Like it's almost like there's unlimited space above my head. So great. Let's check out the back and see how that is. Coming into the rear, we have more of that Tremor style and Tremor feel. The door panel perfectly matches the front. We got more of that accent lighting, the Tremor stitching, and it carries on to the captain chairs in the second row. They look like very comfortable, actually. You've got an armrest that you can pull down. They seem like they'll grip my body really nice, so hop on in and see how it is. Yeah, in terms of a second row, this is very comfortable. We've got a lot of headroom as well still. We've got a Type C port on the back of the chair that we can use, and also different functions on the seat itself. So if you've got a tablet and you want to keep the kids quiet, you can go ahead and set stuff up here for that. And that's kind of unique. It's a disaster to control though. I feel like that could have been set up better, but there we go. Now in the center itself, we got some cup holders for your second row passengers, as well as second row climate control. And then we get some more power as well in the form of a 110-volt outlet. Now the third row seats are styled a lot like the second row seats, and they also recline and fold pretty well down flat. And actually for a third row seat, I have a lot of space back here, both in headroom, and I can tell my knee room would be plentiful as well. You can also kick this back to get a little bit more comfortable. We do have actually two Type C USB ports on both sides, so you have a total of 4 Type C ports just in the third row. That's a lot of ports. Well, now that we do have the second row seats folded up, I do have about 3 inches of space between my knee and the seat, so it's quite plentiful, actually. Unfortunately, of course, we can't drive this vehicle today, so you'll have to let us know in the comments what you think of the new Ford Expedition, Ford's premier large SUV. Would you take this bad boy, or are you going to get a Toyota Sequoia? Let us know in the comments below.